Alright, let's start with the ingredients for the cake. You'll need 1 3/4 cups, that's about 220 grams of all-purpose flour. Then 3/4 cup, or 65 grams, of unsweetened cocoa powder, preferably Dutch processed for that rich flavor. Next, grab 2 cups, which is 400 grams of granulated sugar. You'll also need 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder and the same amount of baking soda. Add 1 teaspoon of salt to balance everything out. Now for the wet ingredients, you'll need 2 large eggs at room temperature. Then 1 cup, or 240 milliliters of whole milk. Add 1/2 cup, that's 120 milliliters, of vegetable oil and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract for a lovely aroma. Lastly, prepare 1 cup, or 240 milliliters, of boiling water. Oh, and if you'd like to enhance the chocolate flavor even more, you can also add 1 cup of hot brewed coffee. That part is optional, but totally worth it. Now, let's move on to the chocolate frosting ingredients. You'll need 1 cup, or 230 grams of unsalted butter, softened to make it easy to mix. Then, grab 3 1/2 cups, that's 440 grams, of powdered sugar. Make sure it's sifted for a smooth texture. Next, you'll need 1/2 cup, or 45 grams, of unsweetened cocoa powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract for that extra depth of flavor. Finally, you'll need 1/4 cup, or 60 milliliters of heavy cream. You can adjust the amount to get your desired frosting consistency. Alright, before we dive into mixing, let's prep and preheat. Set your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or 175 degrees Celsius. While that's heating up, grease and flour 2 9-inch or 23 centimeter round cake pans. Alternatively, you can line them with parchment paper to make things easier later. Now, it's time to mix the dry ingredients. In a large mixing bowl, sift together the flour, cocoa powder, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. This step is super important to ensure everything is evenly combined and to avoid any lumps in your batter. Alright, now it's time to add the wet ingredients. Go ahead and add the eggs, milk, oil, and vanilla to the dry mix. Then, beat everything together with a hand mixer or a stand mixer on medium speed until it's nice and smooth. Should take about 1 minute. Next up, slowly pour in the boiling water, or if you prefer hot coffee, while mixing continuously on low speed. Don't worry if the batter seems thin, that's totally normal. This step is what makes the cake super moist. Alright, so pour the batter evenly into the prepared pans. Then, bake for about 30 to 35 minutes, or, until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Once that's done, let it cool in the pans for 10 minutes. After that, carefully transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. Now in a large bowl, beat the butter until it's nice and creamy. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, add the cocoa powder and salt, and beat until everything is well combined. Gradually, mix in the powdered sugar on low speed. Then, add the vanilla and heavy cream. Beat it all together on high speed for 2 to 3 minutes until the frosting is light and fluffy. If needed, you can add a little more cream to thin it out or some powdered sugar to thicken it up. If needed, level the cake layers with a knife to make them even. Then, spread a layer of frosting on top of the first cake layer. Place the second layer on top, and frost the top and sides of the cake. Feel free to decorate it however you like. Chocolate shavings, sprinkles, or even some fresh fruit work beautifully. Here's a little tip. Coffee enhances the chocolate flavor, but don't worry, it won't make the cake taste like coffee. For an even richer flavor, you can add a pinch of cinnamon or a bit of espresso powder. Oh, and if you'd like, you can make this recipe as cupcakes. Just bake them for about 18 to 20 minutes, or even as a sheet cake. It's super versatile.